1 second. Once this thing goes live a little bit. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Moses, you could go ahead, please.
All right. Hello, everyone. It is with a great pleasure having you all on this CMMC webinar. And my name is Moses Kuna, Account Executive and Business Development Manager. And I have here with me as the presenter, President and CEO of Smarthost Design Technology, Femi Dada, with extensive knowledge of government contracting and MSP, MSS, with over 15 years of experience working with businesses, both small and large, to implement various compliance and business processes. Welcome, Femi Dada. Femi, you're muted.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. Sorry about that. Just trying to figure out some few things on my screen here. Moses, just to confirm that you guys can see the screen, the introduction screen cover. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. My name is Femi Dada, as Moses said. Thanks, Moses. Today, my goal really here today is to share with you, everyone joining us today, about CMMC. As the title said, what every government contractor needs to know about CMMC and how to get certified and become certified to meet the DoD demand and requirement to meet CMMC. So today, without any further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and see what we will be covering. So our agenda today is really going to be, again, I have a packed slide here today, and honestly, I don't even know how I'm going to be able to cover everything, but I may jump around from time to time. But I'm really just going to be going through this, and so what we're going to be covering today. Basically, we're going to cover what has changed since my last webinar. We will be also we will see why you need to pay attention to this. Also, how CMMC can be a strategic certification for your government contracting business. Also, we're going to review a little bit about CMMC and what's the difference with NIST 800-171. And then also, I'm going to also try to cover the self-assessment, a little bit of some information that you need to know about that, and the CMMC certification process for level 2. I did some, I have some information about that, and what certification level is ideal for your business. That's one of the most important questions that everyone always asks me. And of course, my goal really here again is to kind of share a little bit how we may be able to help you with Smarthost CyberShield for government contractors and as an MSP. So for those of us that are on the call today that don't really know me, I know this is a very awkward slide that I wanted to share, but for those of you that don't know me, this is really to kind of just give you a little idea of who I am and where I'm coming from. So I've been in the IT business for quite some time now, and in fact, as a small business owners like yourself, our business is also a small certified business. We work with the various government agencies at this point. And again, I'm very humbled to say, in fact, we've won contracts and we're working with agencies. And on the last time I updated this slide, we've since grown our company since then. I'm also a veteran IT support strategist who has a lot of experience in helping businesses implement technology for their business. I'm a CISSP trained with certification of completion. I'm also Security Plus certified, and I'm also a CMMC RP, which is registered practitioner. I've had Microsoft certification for many years now, and also I'm also an author, Amazon bestseller, Easy Pray. If you don't have one, I will give you an opportunity to get one today. So I've spent a decade in developing, testing, and refining IT solutions for businesses in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. So these are some of the agencies that we've worked with. And ultimately, today, as a business owner that you're joining us, what I really want you to get away with, to go away with, is what are we really going to do to cover? I hope that I will be able to help you understand how to avoid being left behind, how to avoid being excluded from government contracting business opportunity, and hopefully how to maximize your company's contract award potential. And that will, again, that will be to prepare for CMMC certification and maintain those compliance. That will be my ultimate goal today. So, and of course, to avoid being that sitting duck. A lot of DIBs, defense industrial-based businesses, right now, people are just sitting down. They just kind of say, well, I'm going to wait until DoD decide what they're going to do. But folks, I'm really afraid to say, it is going to be active in March. That's from the based on information that I've attended, some presentations with DoD and such. Literally, CMMC is going in effect in March of 2023. So there is no point sitting around waiting. It is a done deal. CMMC is it's a reflection of 800-171 that every government contractor is supposed to be compliant with already. So it's not going to disappear. So my goal is really just to make sure that you don't become that sitting duck with, just sitting there without any action plan. So for those of you that are going to stay to the end of this, I always like to reward my my followers and viewers. When you stay, again, for those of you watching on YouTube, again, you don't have to stay to the end. You can always come back and watch it. But those of you that are on the webinar here today, staying to the end here today will get you this. We're going to give you unlimited cybersecurity awareness training for your entire company. So again, Jane, Moses, you guys are on the call. At the end of the call, those folks that are on the call, we're going to give them this free cybersecurity training. And also, in addition to that, you will all get my free book. We'll get your email address. I'll send you guys the PDF copy of it, absolutely free. And if you really want a signed copy, just email me. I'll be more than happy to sign it and send one to you. Okay. All right. Well, let's get to it. I know. The question here is that government business is a regulated industry. We have, DFAR, Defense Fair Acquisition Regulation. Now we have CMMC, we have FIPS, we have ITA, we have FedRAMP. These are all kind of certifications or compliance that companies that are doing business with government have to comply with. So CMMC is just one of those that have been added, unfortunately, but the good reason why they added, I think it's something that we all should appreciate. So let me move forward here. I'm going to move a little rapidly here. So why the regulation, you may ask? Why? It's kind of like, why do we wear seatbelts when you're driving your car? It's to protect yourself, to protect your company, to protect our nation. Is to make sure that our election security is solid, is to make sure that, hackers don't, hack your company, is to make sure that intellectual property is not stolen from your company. Again, looking at this right now, US is behind on 5G technology. If you've heard in the news lately, maintaining a competitive edge means that they passed the CHIPS Act. These are all things that over the years, hackers have been hacking American companies and they've been stealing intellectual property and enriching themselves and various quantity and bad actors. So supply chain, as you guys heard last year, a little bit of gas pipeline and all that stuff. I have some images that I'm going to show a little bit later here for you guys to just get a update on that. So just looking at this, for example, if anyone is on the call today, I don't know. I see someone in the chat. There was a chat there. I'm not sure if, let me just see. Okay. All right, so no problem. I'm going to do that as well. Thanks, Moses. So basically, just looking at this right now, if anyone is on the chat, if everyone is on joining us, if they just, looking at this, you may wonder, what is the difference here? Can anybody tell me which one of this plane is, American and which one belongs to another country? So I'm just going to hit another slide here. So here we go. So as you can see right here on this slide, the plane on the left, on my left, is the United States fighter jet. And the one on the right is from China. So as you can see, there's a lot of similarities. These are the things that have been going on over the years. And that's why the United States is, you hear on the news, they are doing the CHIPS Act and all these things and limiting, all this process to just make sure that United States, our country, maintain the edge over our, maintain edge in the world that we live in today. So this brings me now to really what our discussion is all about. What has changed since the last webinar? Basically, the last time I did this webinar, CMMC was still 1.0. It had 5 different levels, and then DoD decided to revise that, and they made it 3 levels. So it's all still the same 110 models. I mean 171 practice, which includes 171 practices, right? It's still the same practices. Nothing has changed in all the practices, but what I've done is that they've compartmentized it a little bit into 3 levels. And then they've made level 1 a self-assessment, so that companies like yourself and myself, if you're coming in at level 1, you don't have to go through that rigorous process of having a third-party entity perform an audit and certification process for you. And just real quick, I know you're looking at the screen, you see me, you see Moses, you see Clyde. Perhaps I didn't introduce Clyde. Clyde is one of our new members. He's a security assessor and ATO specialist that is helping our customers and ourselves internally meet our compliance with CMMC and other programs that we're working on. And Moses, of course, is a project manager and business developer, as he introduced himself. I just felt like I kind of forgot to introduce them, my bad, but I'll continue right here real quick. So that is what has changed since the initial webinar. So now, what is exactly CMMC 2.0? And again, 2.0 is divided into 3 levels. Level 1 focuses on protecting FCI, which is Federal Contracting Information. And that consists of only practices that corresponds with basic safeguarding of requirements that are in the 48 CFR 552.204-21, which is commonly referred to FAR clause. This is the clause that you, as a government contractor, you have signed off on, that you are going to be compliant, that you are going to be complied with. So the issue is that hasn't been, nobody is coming in, knocking on your door, asking you if you are compliant or not. So that's the foundation. That's already there before even CMMC. So now, what happened is that CMMC is implemented, it's being implemented to enforce those requirements. So practice level 2 falls into what we call the practice advanced. It's the advanced practice, and that's level 2. And that focuses on protection of CUI, control unclassified information. So those are information that are sensitive, information that adversary can grab and deduce greater information, and that encompasses 110 security requirements specified in NIST 800-171. So in a nutshell, level 2 is directly proportional to NIST 800-171. So in this case, if you're coming in at level 2, literally you can take NIST recommendation 800-171 and apply it, and you will be ready to you'll be ready for your compliance with CMMC level 2. And now talking about the expert practice, which is the level 3. As of right now, DoD is still finalizing some of the unique requirements that really makes level 3 level 3. So that is being worked on, and they'll be releasing those information shortly. So with that said, again, see the Center for Defense Security Education, they have a lot of information about CUI and training and all this information that you can easily learn more about CUI if you're not familiar what that is. So I just have a screen here in case you can take a screenshot of this. All right. What the key point here is this, right? I put this in here to remind myself. The key point here with the CMMC level 2 is that the government realized that it is going to be really hard for everybody to do level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. And they broke it down into these 3 levels, making sure that level 1 as a foundation that people can self-assess themselves. But the difference with this self-assessment from the 48 FAR clause that you already agreed to is that the business owner or some key personnel at your business have to sign off every year on the foundational level in order to be compliant. So basically, they're saying that you can not just say, yes, hey, I'm certified, and then nobody checks. So just in a snapshot, again, this is the 2 differences level CMMC model 1.0, which have 5 levels. Again, forget about that. That's not in place anymore. Level 2 is the correct information, and that's the one you need to focus on moving forward. So again, the difference, again, adoption of CMMC is just level 3, as I mentioned, that goes in effect in March 2023. Defense Industrial Authority, they are basically now verifying the goal of CMMC, as I heard on one of the presentations that I was on, is really to verify the compliance with CFAR 32 and to make sure that people are in compliance. So the certification process is currently active. Companies are getting provisional certification pending the final release of the final regulation release, okay? So why do you need to pay attention to this? The reason why you need to pay attention to this is that you do not want to lose contract. You do not want to be excluded from doing business with the government, DoD, or even civilian government, because as I've heard and my experience have taught me, things come out in DoD first, and then before you know it, a year, 2 months, 3 months later, civilian agency follow suit. The other reason why you want to pay attention to this is that there are potential incentives before March 2023 to get certified. Again, I know that time is short, but what I heard is that companies that are getting certified even at level 1, level 2 right now, they get the benefit. There are some incentive in terms of funding and stuff and things like that, because what government is doing is also trying to use this as a roadmap to make sure that companies can be certified and things are working the right way. Again, one of the reasons I was just thinking about it, why would a business want to get CMMC certified? I think it's a strategic differentiation point. If you are a small business and you're listening to this and you're looking for ways to set yourself apart from all the competition out there, getting CMMC certified quickly helps you to differentiate yourself to a government contract CEO or to an agency, because you're telling them that, look, I'm really serious about security. We can handle your security situation and we can make sure that everything is fine. And of course, the last reason why you really want to pay attention to this really is that you don't want to get caught up in misrepresentation. And government, as we heard Moses the other day, DOD is actually going now. They've authorized which other is it? Which I don't remember the agency, but they've authorized another agency to actually do checks and make sure that people don't misrepresent. And misrepresentation is when you say you have something CMMC, and then when they come, they look, you don't have it, then you get fined, and you can even lose a contract. So with that said, what are the difference? Okay, these are some of the things that I just mentioned. Why you want to, what are the benefits, the strategic impact for that? Again, having CMMC as it's a strategy that you can use. It allows you we're seeing some RFP and RFI recently that are saying that you need to, you have to comply with CMMC level 1, and which is just a basic level. So if you don't have level 1, you can't even bid on those opportunities. So I think, as a small government contractor myself, and for you that are on the call, I really, really will encourage you to consider acting now sooner than later. And as I was mentioning before, if you guys remember the Colonial pipeline that got hacked, again, those are just companies that are caught in the crossfire of these things. And of course, if you have a CMMC certification, your current contract, you retain them, because once CMMC is ready and is implemented, your contract, they will have some some adjustment clause or something like, they may be asking to see where you are on CMMC. So that's a mouthful. Now, the slide that I have here is basically a technical one. It's basically the CMMC controls and the 800-171, NIST 800-171. As you can see, it's got access control. These are the 14 domains: access control, awareness training, audit and accountability, configuration management. We internally, we've already begun some of this. We begin, not some of this, but all of this. We begin this process, and we're gathering the information. We implement it for ourselves. We implement it for a few of our clients that needs CMMC certified, and that's why we have Clyde is here. Gene is on the call today. Maybe he can share a little bit on how he's going in terms of just putting some stuff together. I still had a meeting with him yesterday. Hey, Gene, I just want to rest my voice a little bit here, so pitch in for a second.
Yeah, Femi, thank you so much. I think this is really brilliant. I like the way you kind of take the process, making it very easy. It's a very complicated process, and I think everyone out there, every company out there really wants to know, how do I get certified for this? Because of course it's a process that's going to keep your government contract intact. And so for me, basically what I'm doing is, the first thing is an assessment process. You want to assess your systems or your company's information system. You want to assess to know gaps. Once you identify those gaps, and then for us internally, we do have a system where we have every control mapped out to a specific issue that you're looking for, whether you're talking about artifacts. So that gives you a clear picture in terms of what you're looking for when it comes to, for example, the level 1, dealing with the 17 controls at level 1. And so we have an internal process that, a spreadsheet where it's a one-stop go. Once the assessment is done, we know where the gaps are. It's easy for us to just get in there and fix the problems or identify the areas that need to be taken care of. So yeah, Femi, I'll just let you continue, and I'll jump in anytime you need me.
Thank you, Gene. You kind of you stole my thunder a little bit there, but it's good because I didn't actually prep you or anything. And really, this is how I really like to operate, because my team and myself, we're all on the same page. We're saying the same thing. It's obvious that this is critical issue. So some of the stuff you mentioned, I have it in a previous slide. That's what I meant by stealing my thunder, but it's actually really good because I really appreciate that. So let me continue real quick here. So again, these are the controls. And of course, you have to do the analysis and all that, keep all these artifacts to make sure that you can support it when the government knock on the door. So here was my next slide. All right. So here as we go, this just really puts us right into the self-assessment segue. So self-assessment, and I'm looking at it, I said, okay, what does a company a company my size, small, or even big company, what do they have to do right now to really think of level 1 assessment? And by the way, I personally think that every company should have level 1. Level 1 is not that, I know, for me as a cybersecurity expert or specialist, I can say it's a little easy, but it's not really, but I think every company should have level 1, because really it's just like you have to keep your doors locked, you have to wear your seatbelt. It's the basic necessity. So that's where I'm coming from. So if you're looking at level 1 assessment, the goal is really to assess and secure federal contracting information, FCI. That's your contracting information. If you want an award, if you bid, you have a request for proposal, you have unsolicited proposal in your system, all of this information, your email communicating with a government agency, these are federal contracting information. So you have to be at level 1 if you're a government contractor. It's not even an option. Okay. And then of course, it applies to the entire enterprise, whether you're a small network, whether you have a small enclave area where you're doing your government work. Yes, that can be applied to that. Again, it applies to your entire network, your email, your system, your network. And it can be, and this is performed annually. So you do the gap analysis, you get your certification level 1. You do the self-assessment level 1, and then you have to every year sign off that you guys have done a refresher and all of that. So with level 1, there is no CMMC certification there's not an assessment conducted by a third party. You can use a third party, 3PAO, just to make sure everything is aligned, but 3PAO is not going to send you to the CMMC AB, and you're not going to get a certification, but you get a self-assessment. And then of course, company size. So this is regardless of your company size, whether small, whether big, it doesn't matter. All government contracting agents or companies have to be CMMC certified at some level. And then all CMMC are achievable. All the levels, level 1, level 2, level 3 are achievable by small, medium, large contractor. It's all about the data. And of course, once for the level 1 assessment, once you've done all the, you do a gap analysis internally, you assess your system, you fix the gaps that you discover from your analysis, and then you will go to SPARS, which is Supply Performance Risk System. You will now upload your information. They have some template, they have some files. You upload your information in there, and DoD government is going to review it, and they will give you that check mark that you are level 1, good to go and compliance. And then of course, annually, you will renew that process, okay? Now, when we talk about CMMC level 2 process, again, CMMC, it's kind of like, it builds up on one another. So level 1, of course, level 2 builds up on level 1, and then level 3 builds up on level 2. So with the things that we talk about in level 1 now, when you are self-certified, great. And now you can take all that information, you will now consult with 3PAO, who will open like a sponsorship with OCS, and then, with CMMC AB, and then they will review the gap analysis. Again, they will do another gap analysis to meet the compliance for level 2. You take care of those things. But my recommendation is that you got to do all of those things up front. You don't want to go talk to a 3PAO when you don't even have your ducks in a row, because that will be wasting their time, and that will also cost you money. So my recommendation, I have in some slides after this, I will share with you what we recommend and what we have and how we're doing that. So again, DCAP has the authority to come and verify CMMC. DCAP is Defense Industry Compliance Agency. They have the authority to come in and check, just like any other system, if NDAA compliant, accounting and all that stuff. So now, the big question is, what level is ideal for my business? And that is the question I get asked. Everyone is asking me all the time. And what I say to that is that, look, I know for sure that level 1, you have to at least do the due diligence, level 1 compliant, and that's something you just have to embrace it. If you love our country, if you love, I mean, gosh, you got to even your company, the things that you've built, you started your business. Again, statistics, I don't have some statistics number here, but I think they said 80% of the businesses that are hacked, out of those, about 20, 30% of some high numbers go out of business. They lose everything. So really, you don't want to be in those statistics. So that's why you got to get this done. So again, that's the question everybody asks me, but I would say to answer that question, I think everyone should get level 1 for sure. And then level 2, if you are a company that is dealing with CUI, that's control unclassified information, you have to become certified in level 2. That's just a measuring stick that I know. So in order to find out if your company has CUI, you can definitely, I mean, you will know if you do, because they have markings now, on those documents. And we can talk after this, we can consult with us, we can share with you some of the information and all that. So switching gears a little bit here. So since before CMMC even started, right? Our company, Smarthost Design Technology, we've always provided IT support services to small, medium-sized businesses. And of course, part of IT support, IT services is security. And of course, then hacking began and all these things started hitting the news. And we just basically built in security into our IT support. But when CMMC became evident that really this is the right way to go, we began implementing our Smarthost CyberShield. So basically, we trademark, we create a product which is helping government contractors and our commercial businesses as well, commercial customers, meet different requirements, from IRS requirement for accounting firm to other kind of requirement for different industries. So all of this all stand to that NIST 800, some level there, whether you are doing HIPAA compliance or you are trying to be, all kind of compliance. So we built our IT solution with the CyberShield factor so that we can help our customers mitigate risk and secure their business. So right on this slide here, this is what the Smarthost CyberShield is all about. We kind of come in, try to understand your CMMC requirement. We identify your scope. We determine the level of CMMC level that you need to come in. We provide you optional pre-assessment. Once that assessment is done, we help you to close the gaps if there are any. We also have partners in the industry that we are working with that are 3PAO, and we have a relationship with CMMC AB. We are CMMC RP, registered practitioner. We specifically don't want to be a 3PIO because we see that as conflict of interest in what we do. We want to help our customer get their system secure, get them ready so that we can help them find a 3PAO so that they can access their system and get certified. And of course, we perform the allowance to resolve any findings. CMMC AD reviews and submit the assessment. Upon approval for the level 2, you get a 3-year certification is issued. Okay, so I know that's a mouthful. I'm even almost tired of just going at it. So the bottom line is this: you need to get serious about protecting your current contract and award, and your current contract and awards, and position your company for future award. But what does that look like, really? What does it look like? So I'm about to share with you what our CMMC Smarthost strategic consulting is all about. So our CMMC strategic consulting is a consulting services that we provide. We basically would meet with you. We'll do a 2-day, 45-minute session. We meet with you at your business. We assess your system. We determine all the things that I mentioned earlier. We find out what scope you need to be. We help you determine if you keep CUI. Again, everybody has FCI if you're doing government, if you're doing business with government. We help you define your scope. And then we also, at the end of that 2-day, 45-minute session, which can be done in person, or we can do it, remotely. We can send an engineer to your site, all of that. At the end of that, you are going to get a crystal clear security plan to handle FCI, CUI, and other sensitive information. Plus, we will answer all the questions that you have and that you may have for your unique situation, okay? Again, it's a CMMC readiness plan, the Smarthost CyberShield. Step 1, we will conduct the company system assessment. Step 2, we will generate the system security plan, POEM, for desired CMMC level. Step 3, we will continue to implement management and support and reporting for your CMMC practice and processes. So, as I mentioned, again, when we do this assessment, we come on site, at the end of the assessment, you get an action plan that you can either implement yourself, or if you decided that, okay, you want Smarthost to help you, we can help you implement and continue to support you along that journey. I think I'm missing a slide here, but here's what happened after our meeting. You have a clear roadmap for your CMMC strategy. You will have the assessment report in your hand. You will also, you will have a simple, you can simply use information to continue your CMMC journey, meaning the information we provide you can simply use that to continue your journey. Or you can say to us and say, hey, Femi, like most of our customers do, can you guys help me with this? And we will be able to help you with it. We will also offer you a strategic plan, as I said earlier, with CMMC in the marketplace, to Contractor to help you with your business for CEOs and CORs. We provide you advice on your IT solutions and services and help you continue that journey. Okay. So, how does this work? The way we do this is that we have a system online already. We have a website. Basically, you can fill in that, go to that website, you complete a 10 simple question. After that 10 simple question, we get a scoring. We will meet with you, we'll review it, and we'll discuss your CMMC plan. This is just a sample of what that website looks like. I think we have a link somewhere at the end here. So at the end of it, you'll be able to get like a score. If it's 32, you have a score out of 100, okay? And then of course, it also shows yellow, red, blue, like that, to help you. And that's just with that. And again, a lot of times when I present this, people say, what's the catch? What's the catch? There is no catch, there is no catch, honestly. The only thing about it is that I know everyone is busy, you're busy, I'm busy, Gene, my team, everyone is busy, and we want to make this as possibly available as much. We want to give you our time, our resources to help you. So the catch, or if you ask me what's the catch, is that we only have 3 spots available. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to ask folks if you are interested in learning more about CMMC, about our Smarthost CyberShield, how we can help you prepare your business for CMMC certification as part of our IT solution, IT package, and our CMMC preparedness plan. We are opening up 3 spots. And this is going to be by kind of, I don't want to sound, because of time, it takes time, it takes resources. We'll open up 3 spots and we will review your situation and we will humbly tell you if this is something, that will be beneficial to you at this time, because again, we want to just be judicious and do a good job. So that's the only, I guess, the only catch, if you can say, is what I have, because I want to make it meaningful. So if you're on the call today and you are really interested, you want to learn a little bit more about how we can help you get your CMMC journey in progress, go to this URL. It's https://tiny URL. It's TIN, as you can see on the screen. Go to the URL and click on that, and what you see is my calendar. You will be able to book yourself a 15-minute time, and we will get on the call with you, myself and Jane or Moses will review your application for the process, and then we will let you know if we will be able to assist you with the CMMC preparedness assessment program. Again, I'll leave this up on the screen a little bit here, and I'm sure there are some questions that people may have, so I'll be more than happy to take some questions, okay? I'll come back to this slide a little bit later also. So, again, Moses, I don't know, do we have any question or any question there? Let me look at the chat real quick.
Yeah, Femi, there's a question that has been asked, does this mean as a government contractor, you will not be able to do business with government if you're not in compliance?
I want to say, I guess, if you're not in compliance with CMMC, right, it depends on what stage, because the government is taking a walk, run, fly approach. I will put fly in there. They literally, again, not my quote, but the government is taking a crawl, walk, approach. So at some point, when every company is certified, when CMMC is broadly acceptable, broadly in the industry, I don't know what's the better word to use, is broadly in mainstream, then you won't be able to do business with government without CMMC certification. But in the meantime, I'm seeing it. I've seen RFP that came up in the last week, in 2 weeks or so, that has CMMC. It didn't say CMMC, but it has the clause in there. I think 207-20-2017 clause in there, and that's basically the technical clause for CMMC, basically. So again, without forgetting that question, the question is that if somebody is not compliant, does that mean that they will not be able to do business with government? I think yes, but at the same time, it may not be immediately, but eventually. So I think if you are a business right now, you have to consider CMMC certification. If you don't, you will be excluded in the short term from bidding on opportunity. And on the long run, on the long term, you will not be able to do business with the government, except if you find an agency that really, that does, again, that would be hard to find, that would do business without making sure that their vendors are secure. Okay. I hope I answered that question. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Also, just real quick, I think we've done this webinar for some of the questions we've had in the past also. One of them is, how much will CMMC cost? And the answer to that is it depends. If you're a small company with 10 employees, less than 20 employees, of course, the process, it will be a little bit streamlined than if you're a 100-person company. So, but what we're seeing in the industry right now, and it's something that we struggle with sometimes, just to see what's the right thing. But we're tracking the time that it takes to do our process. And then we also are trying to make that time reasonable so that everyone, it's reasonable. But to put a number on it, I think we were on a webinar, which was it me and you, Moses, or so, that I think the government actually said something about cost, that, something around, they've seen average, is it what, close to 10K or something like that, Moses, am I right?
Yeah. Yes, that is very correct.
Yeah. So again, I know we don't normally want to throw out numbers or prices over on this kind of call, but again, I know everybody's on the call for information, and I want to give you the information you need so that you can be better prepared for CMMC certification and make your plan now so that you can be well positioned to grow your business in 2023.
And just to add to that, Femi, usually in this case, it will be by case basis, because just as Femi has said, you might be a company of 5, you might be a company of 10 or more. So it all depends, you know, on how many, and that would determine the cost, to be honest.
Yeah. So I think we have really got to the end of our presentation today, Moses. I think I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. I think I made it in the 45 minutes. I hope I didn't miss something, but I'm actually surprised myself. So thank you, everyone. See, for one last check, see if there's any other question. If there, we can take it offline. We'll respond to it. And please join us next month. We have this webinar on a monthly basis. Join us next month for the latest information on CMMC and some of the updates that we're doing internally and helping our customers get their CMMC process and certification ready. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you. We would love to be in touch with you.
Thank you.